Good evening, everybody. Checking the mic. I am Clyde with PT3D, and today I'm going to do some gluing. And not just gluing, I'm going to make an announcement shortly about something that I did today. So we were going to get to that in just a moment. This is a rare occasion where I'm actually going to send out a quick tweet blast, because I want to make sure everybody knows that I'm doing this. That way, all of you that have been loyally following me over the last couple of years or just recently will be able to hear what I'm saying without having to watch the rerun. So we're going to do that real quick. I'm really hoping that the delay isn't too significant tonight. Almost there. All right, so I think I'm going to just start by gluing and see if anybody shows up, and then I can do the announcements at that point. So for right now, we're going to focus down here. Again, I'm working on the fingers for the InMoov project. This is the finger, what do you call it? The moving finger, the starter finger. That's it. I'm going to be using the Bob Smith Industries instant set and the Bob Smith Industries Extreme Power. This is the medium. What do you call it? No, okay, it is a cyanacrylite or cyanacrylite ester. Anyway, yeah, so super glue. So I'm going to get the parts, which are kind of a mixed bag right now. I've got the part number 1, and I've got the part number 2. These go together. And I've got the part number 4 and part number 5 and 6 and 3. So these all go together like so. We are going to glue these. When you're using this type of glue and you're using the spray, it is not advised that you do it without like a protective mask or some kind of gloves. Okay, I am not doing either right now, which is really bad for me. I should not have done it that way, but I do have really good ventilation, so I'm going to adjust my fan just a little. That way the airflow is going where it needs to go. I opted not to use OBS tonight because, well, face it, I don't really need to use OBS tonight. This is a fairly quick stream. Mostly I'm doing it because I wanted to make the announcement that I have coming up. So, let's see if we can get this to come out. I may have to do a little reaming. I do believe I'm going to have to. Always good to have a couple of small drills with you, because then you can get down in the tube and pull that stuff right out. some out of there. All right, we got some out. So have your spray ready. I'm going to tilt this up just a little bit. So I'm going to pull the cap off that. Spray it away from yourself. Don't spray it towards your face. That's just not a good practice. Just use a small amount on the surface because you don't really need a lot. Of course, if you have the issue that I'm having right now, you may end up with a little bit more than you need. Oop, there we go. We got some old boogery stuff trying to get out. So let's get that. Pull the plug. Come on now. There we go. I think we got it. Oh, almost. Oh, there we go. All right. Just made a big old mess on my paper here. But you know what? On the paper is not on me. Whew, this stuff stinks, let me tell you. Should make sure you have good lighting too, which I don't really have at this moment, but it's sufficient. I'm trying to get the rest of this gob out. It is being very difficult. Come on. I don't like wasting my super glue, but it is what it is. All right, so I've got good coverage on that. So now I'm going to take this. I'm going to come over here and just kind of spritz it just a little bit. Then I'm going to take these two pieces and I'm going to line them up as good as I can with the understanding that this pretty much sets as soon as I stop moving it. So, hello CMP, how you doing? Thanks for coming. I get to make a cool announcement here in a few minutes, but I figured I would do some gluing real quick before I did that and see if anybody else shows up. This is part of my InMoov vlog series where I'm doing the robot thingy. Well, at least parts of it. And we're doing some super gluing. And I'm using the rapid set or the instant set. So I'm trying not to breathe any of it in because that is not the way to do things. Hello, Rover. Don't worry, I'll make my announcement here in just a couple minutes. Just wanted to give everybody a chance to get in. So right now I'm just, like I said, gluing some stuff together. I haven't got the fishing string yet, which I need to get for the tendons, but I will get that soon. But like I said, I wanted to make sure that I was on enough so all my friends from all over the place can benefit from what I'm going to tell you. All right. So let's get this. And absolutely make sure you do not glue your finger. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I don't want to glue this yet. I totally forgot. So we're going to let that just set right there and let it cure because that was a bad idea on my part. There's a couple of holes here. I forgot to run the filament through this before I put the fingertips on. So we're gonna be done with that. I'm gonna put some lids on here before I make myself sick because oh my god, this stuff stinks even with the fan blowing at me. Okay. Nice. That was a good live feed though. I was glad I got to catch some of it. Oh, let me bring you back up here. Because like I said, I mean, this is a really, really quick stream. I mean, I don't have much material and I'm getting things ready for the upcoming event this weekend, which is the kind of like an equivalent of a Comic-Con. And I'm hoping to get some new business with my new business cards, which if you've seen these before, I know. This is my my test print that I use. This does a kind of an overhang test. It does, kind of an accuracy and surface test. And then if I want, I can do a strength test. I made this as a 60% infill because at 40%, with two shells, it wasn't as sufficient to cover this little area here. So I fixed that. What were you saying? Sorry to me for not winning, Rover? I wasn't in long enough to even compete, but that's all right. I am not saddened at all. I think it's awesome that CMP, so I can eventually remember what do you want me to call you? Because I can call you CMP all night long, but Rover is easy, but Canadian Maker Project, that's a bit longer. So yes, anyway, this is my Maker coin, and I can hook a lanyard to here, and it allows me to do vertical pulls on it. Okay, I'll just call you CMP. And then I can put it in a vise and bend it, twist it, or I can use carabiners, plug one here, plug one here. So this is, either one, Ron, whichever one you prefer. I always try to go with the preference. But I appreciate it. I'm Clyde, too, by the way, if you guys didn't catch that in the beginning. And, of course, my company is PT3D. So what I was trying to come up with was a fast way to get, like, these coins ready for the fair. Because I had other jobs going, and I decided that I wanted to do something new. So I have the Purple Haze filament that I'm using, and I came up with these. It's a little harder to see my name, but I mean, the color is just freaking phenomenal. Now, if I could get it just right, you can see through it. You see my logo just barely through that. You see it? I mean, it's a very translucent filament, which I think is actually fantastic. But I kind of wanted to have something small that I could carry, several of them with me when I go, because these are like, cosplayers like to do a lot of 3D printed projects. So I figured, hey, what better way to show them, number one, what I can do, and number two, have my name on it, because this is my YouTube channel. And number three, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can get access to my email address. Or if you wanted to, like patronize me. When I mean patronizing, I mean actually, supporting my channel kind of thing. Because we all like that, right? And this batch is missing. Oop, I got two more in my pocket because I was showing them off. So as you can see, this is one run on the CR10S. And I was able to do 20 of them. I could have done more than 20. But, I mean, just for reference and size scale, these are 50% scaled, and this is, of course, the 100%. So, which is funny because we were talking about this earlier, and it's like, there's 50% scale. But if you do it like this, I can do this, right? But then I can slide them down just a touch, and I could fit 3 of them in there. So it was just kind of funny. But anyway, I digress. So you guys want to know the news, right? Do you? Let's see how that printer's doing. All right. So whether watching or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what's going on. Today is a very interesting day because I got an email back from Anycubic, and they told me that the Anycubic Chiron is going to be available in the United States in 2 months. I'm an impatient person, so I asked them, I was like, is there a way for me to get one of those sooner? I mean, I want to pay for it, obviously. And they said, well, if you wait 2 months, you can get one in the US. And I got to thinking, I'm like, I don't want to wait 2 months. So I went to the Anycubic store, and they didn't have any listed. So I went to AliExpress, and I found that they're selling it through the Anycubic International. And they are selling the Anycubic Chiron on there for about $540. I'm speculating, I don't know for sure, but when the printer itself arrives in the United States, I imagine it's going to retail for around $800 to $900. The print volume on the printer itself is 400 by 400 by 450. It does have, I think, 25-point auto bed mesh leveling. It has dual Z stepper motors with dual optical end stops, and it has a 24-volt heated bed system and a TFT display. It's got filament runout and power off, power on recovery. So 400 by 400 by 450 for $540. I thought that was a fairly straightforward no-brainer. I spent $600 and something on the CR10S, and Anycubic has a pretty good reputation in terms of quality of product, and it's very similar in a lot of ways to the CR10S, but obviously different. So this should be arriving within 1 to 2 weeks. And when it does get here, I will be doing the live build, which I imagine will take less time than this video to do. However, as everybody knows, I have a tendency of taking my time when I do stuff. So it may indeed go a little bit longer than that. So, but yes, that is the news of today, other than me carefully and strategically avoiding gluing my fingers together with the glue. So yes, I will be doing some videos on the Anycubic Chiron soon. I haven't seen a whole lot of content on it. I think everybody's been focused on the CRX lately. So, and you guys know me, I prefer to kind of stay off the beaten path with the printers. So, you know, I went with, you know, I know there was some videos on the FT5 out there that I was using. But when I bought mine, there really wasn't a really good videos on the FT5 until later. Then they came out. There was, or at least I didn't find them. So if there was, I apologize. I'm not slamming anybody. The Jenny Z360 was another choice that I made. That's the Ultimaker 2 clone that does have the dual nozzle system on it that I am going to be hopefully getting working here soon now that I have Simplify 3D. And the InStone 3D printer, all of which, you know, I had pretty good views on. So I'm thinking that if I do the Anycubic Chiron, it's going to be enough outside of what mainstream channels are doing that I may have a shot, you know, having some people interested in following it and seeing where it goes, giving me input, feedback, you know, giving me requests, asking me what they want done or what they want to see done. It'll be nice having a 3D printer in that price point that does not, you know, that comes with the auto bed mesh leveling. So whatever, I don't even know what. Yeah, anyway, that one, the mesh feature. So all of that. Okay, so CMP, what did you not hear? Did you miss my announcement? Do I need to restate my announcement real quick before I log off here? Okay, so real quick, I purchased the Anycubic Chiron today. It should be here within 2 weeks. I was just Oh, sorry to hear that, CMP. I can understand that. So anyway, yeah, like I said a minute ago, the Anycubic Chiron is a 400 by 400 by 450 build volume with 25 point auto level or auto bed mesh leveling, dual Z optical sensors, dual stepper motors on the Z, and it's TFT monitor, 24 volt heated bed system with MOSFET, I believe, and filament run out sensor, power on, power off, recovery. So yeah, 540 is what I purchased that for. I did email Anycubic again, like I said, and Anycubic told me that it would be in the United States in 2 months. I'm impatient. I don't like it. There's really no videos that I found that were substantial or significant. So, which microphone is this thing using? I just realized I'm looking down here and it's like not giving me much gain. So you guys can hear me all right, right? Anyway, it's the Anycubic Chiron, and I'm hoping to have good times with it, you know. And like I said, I'm really hoping to grow the channel just a little bit by having a printer that doesn't have a lot of video coverage right now. I mean, there's a handful of videos from Anycubic that have done it. And there was one other video that I found so far with somebody that was putting one together. I'm really looking forward to any input and requests with the new printer. I think that'll be cool. I really like the interaction between, you know, you guys and myself when I do these streams. It's a lot of fun for me, you know. So, I mean, I don't have to be a Gigundo channel, but I want to be able to provide, you know, interesting information and good content. I mean, I think that's pretty much what any YouTuber, you know, strives to do. I mean, yeah, it would be awesome if I was able to make, you know, $1 million or something in a year doing videos. But honestly, the reality is that's not going to happen for me. That's just not the way I'm structured, really. You know, I mean, I feel guilty just telling people, hey, you can follow my links and do the buy me a coffee or go into my Streamlabs and, you know, give me a donation. You know, I mean, I know that those are options available, just like Patreon's available. But, it's just the way I am. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be doing that. Actually, one of the things I want to get next is, I think I'd love to get the CR10S5. That's on my kick list. Maybe a nicer camera. Definitely need a better computer for this lab. And I think the only other thing I need or I would want is the FT5's, Folgertech's CNC machine. That's really the only things that I can think of right now that I really want. I would love to be able to provide content on stuff that, you know, people really aren't doing videos on. Yeah, well, getting printers to test is actually not that difficult. The question is, do you really want that? Is the CR? Oh, you want the CR10, or you'll have to clarify that one for me, CMP. Persistence and presence is everything to the 3D printing manufacturers. It helps to have a brand name. Somebody that's not into 3D printers but has a lot of subs on YouTube is much more likely to get a 3D printer. People that are actively engaged in the community, going around and to all the different tech forums and, you know, like ERF and MERF and all that, they're much more likely to get a 3D printer from a company because you get to see them in face-to-face. Quality content and good videos, that's another way to get them to notice you. But the CR10, not the S. Yeah, well, I've been told that there's nothing wrong with the CR10. The only reason I got the CR10S was because, well, it's out and I paid a little bit more for it, but I wanted to start, a relationship with Printed Solid because I thought that would be pretty cool. I'm still a fairly young channel. I mean, I've been doing this, I think, right about, I don't know, a week or two less time than Joe 3D Maker Noob. And his channel has blown up because he's such a great guy to watch. And he's cool. Oh, and I appreciate that. And like I said, all of the printers I have purchased with my own money. I have, give me one sec, let me look here. I think I'll have just under $4,000 worth of printers retail by the time I'm done with this next purchase. Just to give you an idea. But I really like sharing my experience, as, a newbie to, 3D printing, not to coin, or borrow the term, but, I'm still really new at this. I'm not the tech savvy person that, some of the really good YouTubers are with the 3D printers. Not to say that I wouldn't mind getting there, but honestly, real life sucks. I mean, you got to do like your regular job and taking care of my family certainly doesn't suck. I love my family, but doing the rest of the grind stuff to just support my family and then to be able to do this content. This is relaxing for me. I enjoy doing this. I mean, I have every single person that subs, at one time or another, I have at least been able to say hello and thank you for subscribing to my channel. I mean, it's a big deal to me. I really do appreciate people that subscribe to my channel. I appreciate people that watch my content and, like my content and give me criticism. And, to this day, I have yet to actually have anybody email me a criticism on my email. I've had questions posted in the, discussions on the videos themselves. I've had a couple of spams, but honestly, everybody so far that has engaged with, our channel, my channel, has been really awesome. And very supportive. It's a great community to be involved with. And without 3D printing, I wouldn't be able to do or even think about doing some of the things that I'd like to do. I just wish I had more time to do it. I mean, I've got 2 small children, I've got a family, and it's like I can't spend the hours required to have a really high-end channel editing video footage, which is why I'm kind of doing live streams right now, and I really don't mind it. I know they tend to go on a little while, but this is going to be about 30 minutes worth of streaming, so it's just I really like to make sure that the information that I get out is as accurate as possible. So that's why I like being corrected. I don't mind when people tell me I'm wrong, because if I am, please tell me. I'd prefer to know it now. That way, I can correct it. Oh, so no more soapbox. Yeah, 3D printing, you should be happy 3D printing. Even if you've got the cheapest of the cheap 3D printers and you make it work somehow, if you can see all the lines and imperfections and blemishes, it doesn't matter. If it makes you happy, if you're realizing art or you're realizing something, if you're making little tabletop chess pieces that you created, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that matters, is doing that. If you're doing art with a 3D printing pen, that's amazing. Do it. I mean, all of this stuff is this is what I love about this. If I had the money, I'd be all over the United States meeting everybody, and even traveling abroad so I could meet everybody else. Although I don't know how far away you are, CMP, if you're still on right now or not. See, but that's great though. You're going to build the Core XY. I've got the printer that I'm going to be building here soon. I'm asking Paul from Where Nerdy is Cool if he wants to, help me out with some of that. So he's got access to a CNC machine. I might be able to do some cutting work in the Toronto area. Well, I'm in Maine, and I think what is that near St. Joe, St. Croix? Yeah, in that area. New Brunswick, in that area. Sorry. So that's not that far a drive for me. Toronto, that's a long drive. So yeah. Oh, I remember seeing you. I did see you. I also saw Filaments. What's his face from Filaments.ca? Because I was in that general vicinity. I had my son with me, so I didn't get a lot of video, unfortunately, and I wasn't able to meet everybody because I was like, it was a long drive. It was 10 hours for me down, 10 hours back, and the 5 to 6 hours I was actually there. Of course, my son wanted to eat lunch, and I did get to briefly say hi. Yeah, I'll bet it was. All right, so what else? I think pretty much covers it. Who else is here that needs to hear what I said? Anybody? I think I have lookers, but I don't know. So yeah, what do you guys think? Did I make a good call or a stupid call? I'm looking forward to trying it, to be honest. Hello, Mr. Pena. I'm well. How are you? Oh, it's all right. I posted in Twitter just to kind of let everybody know. Oh, that's cool, dude. That is awesome. See, I've not got a sponsor or anything like that yet. I haven't even gotten a single tip or donation yet that I know of. I haven't checked, but not that, like I said, I'm not fishing. I'm just saying. So I'm still new to this whole, hey, panhandling money thing. Fernando Pena. Did I get that right this time? Yes, no. Because I always try to get it right. And then I usually mess it up somehow. That's all right. I should put my computer in front of the camera. Yes. Well, it was a strategic choice. Well, and not just strategic choice. I mean, it was it was I think it was a good choice. The Anycubic Chiron really does look interesting to me. Then it's got that build volume. It does not have a dual nozzle, so it's not a CRX. But as I was thinking about it, I've got the Jenny Z360 that is a dual nozzle, and with a little bit of work and using Fusion 360, I should be able to get it to work. I just haven't had the time. Again, this is back to time. It's like I rely on low maintenance printers. And so far, the CR10S, I think I've got over 200 hours on it right now. And I'm on the 14th. Oops, I got to update my sheet. I'm on the 14th print for the Magigoo. And so far, still no part failures. And no well, you know what I mean. No parts flying off the table. Oh man, I did. I finally got a little bit of soup glue on my finger. What's up with that? All right. So I gotta. Oh, this is chunky. Sorry, let me take a look. Yes, I actually really do. I'm kind of kind of a little bit fearful of the Magic Goo right now. I do plan on using it. Don't get me wrong. I really loved the presentation. I did back them on Kickstarter so I could get the samples. But I think for bed purposes on my CR10S, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I got to tell you, if you have not looked at this new mini maker coin I did, look at the surface on that. I mean, that's the glass side. You know, I mean, you can see through this PLA, by the way. So if you want to know more about this PLA, it's awesome. You can't really read the front so well, which is unfortunate. But I'm using Magic Goo on the bed, and there is no residue on the back side. None whatsoever. And I think that is my only concern with the 3D gloop, is that I'm kind of worried that when I'm pulling parts off, I'm going to be taking some of that with it, which would be basically similar to using a PVA glue stick, like an Uhu stick or something like that. And I'm trying to get into doing the professional level parts, so I really don't want that residue. I don't want to have to rinse parts off. I mean, that's just extra work. And right now, I don't have to do any post-processing using the CR10S. I've got a print going right now, which I can show you for a second. The print that I've got going right now, I've got, oh man, I got to loosen that up. Or is it the wrong one? That's the wrong one. Sorry, I never remember which one's which. All right, so if you see right there in the distance, that is printing 20 maker coins, the mini maker coins, and I could do a lot more. So, and that's the filament that I'm using right now is the 3D Racks. That was $21 a spool, I think it was. Yes, CMP. Wow, look at that. You can see my ceiling, the popcorn texture. Okay. You were saying IFP 3D. Sorry. I was like, what? Yeah, I just got an Alpha Wise U20 CR10 clone. I love it. Good. Yeah, do it. Did you do video on it yet? Videos are good, man. I know Paul, he's got the one from Folger Tech. I can't remember which one he said he has. So I think he's done some videos on that one. But yeah, take a look at the Anycubic Chiron. That's the one I just bought today for $540. Like I said, I think it's going to be in the $900 range by the time it gets to the US through resellers. That way they can get margin. I'm trying to get all the printers I need to, to really start ramping up some production on stuff, getting some jobs together. And it's really nice having a printer that I just don't have to fuss with too much. I think the only issue I have with the CR10S right now, which I will mention eventually when I do a review, I still have 800 hours of print time to do on it before I do that, is the V-slot wheels are chafing a little bit on the edges. And I was going to loosen them up just a little bit, but I'm not quite ready to commit to doing that just yet because it is so precise the way it's printing right now. I don't want to mess with it because I really don't want to have to. I have not. Okay, so I have done 18 prints, 18 or 19. 19, 20. No, I've done 21 prints since we first leveled the bed on that, and I have not made an adjustment to it yet. So, but again, you also got to remember too, the last 14 prints that I've done. Sorry, not 13. 14, because number 14 is on right now. I have not touched the build surface. And I think that is a really big deal I think that the even with Magic Goo on there, I think if you get your hands on there too much, it's going to degrade. The oils from your skin are going to get on the bed, and you're going to end up with spots that aren't going to adhere well. So I've been gently just taking the spatula, unless I can grab the part without touching the bed, and I've been taking the spatula and just kind of pushing them off the build plate. Because when that thing cools down, I don't have to peel the parts off. All I have to do is push them off. They're not attached anymore. If I went over there right now and pushed my finger on it, those parts aren't going to move. But as soon as it cools down, I can take that and just go whoop, and knock all the parts off. I mean, it's I don't even know how to describe it. There's hardly any friction. It's almost like sliding across glass once it's done. So, I mean, well, here I can demonstrate. This is me taking a part off the printer. You ready? Okay, when it's hot. When it's not. So, like this. I mean, it's just like that when I take the prints off the bed. I'm not exaggerating. I think I actually I did that on a stream just to show you guys that I wasn't joking. So I am not lying to you at all. I would not do that to you. I think I was a little presumptuous with my InStone videos as much as I love that thing. And I regret that because I'm hoping that not a whole lot of people went out and bought one because of my videos. Because how was I supposed to know that at some point it was going to do what it did? So, I mean, I feel horrible. And that's when I decided that I'm not going to talk about any printer other than general terms until I hit 1,000 hours. When it hits 1,000 hours, I will tell you, is it still running? Yes. Have I had to do any maintenance on it? Yes or no? And I think that's the way I'm going to stay consistent because it's not fair to you guys. There's a lot of people out there that are doing reviews on printers after like less than a couple hundred hours of runtime. And I'm sorry, but you really just don't know. Unless you have catastrophic failures in those first 200 hours, you should not be doing a review on a printer. It's just not, I mean, it's not realistic. I'm sorry to get too passionate on that. I understand the need to do reviews to get them out, because we all have people that we answer to. But if that's what makes me different is the fact that I do buy these printers. I purchase these with my money. I don't get them donated to me. I'm not going to lie. I have asked a couple of companies if they'd send me a demo unit, Raise 3D being one of them, because I truly love their product, but it's just slightly out of my price range. Well, slightly being $6,000 out of my price range. But they have a great product, and I know I could actually make use of it doing prosthetics, which is ultimately what I want to do. Is I'd like to get into working with a prosthetic company to help them with their development and to get them prototypes faster for casting and getting the patients that need the prosthetics to them a lot faster. And I think they could benefit from that 3D printing service much better. With new printer, do your unbox setup and first impressions. I can do that with you guys if that's what you want. I mean, we can do an unboxing. I mean, honestly, I love doing unboxing videos anyway. I may have my son with me because he likes doing them too. And I mean, you can see the level of frustration that I'll have as I assemble it and see about getting it printing. I already know that the odds are pretty good that I'm going to have to mess with the Z offset when I get it. So, yeah, my son was begging me to come here tonight and do this one. But the thing is that he has obligations at home that he has to do first. And he didn't have the time to do it because they wanted to go to the playground, which is why I started my stream a few minutes late. So I was actually going to start it at 8 o'clock, but I got a little behind. So my apologies for that. I did say I would try to do it at 8. So, but I love how everybody gets chatty just, about the 30-minute mark when I'm getting ready to get off and everybody starts saying stuff. Okay, so what else? Bring it. Bring what you want. So we're talking, I'll even make notes. Okay, so this is your guys' wish list. So this becomes my wish list. You ready? So we want the unboxing. We want the initial impressions. Let's see what else. Oh yeah. I mean, without family, where would we be? I mean, think about that for a minute. A majority of the people that do 3D printing have a family dynamic, meaning that, a majority of us become a extended 3D printing family. I don't really have something to compare it to, because it's not like social media. Social media is definitely not like that. Do you want me to do the first print on the live stream? Okay, so not do the first print. Well, you know what? We'll do the first print on the live stream. We'll go with whatever's on the memory card. And then what I will call the first real print, I will do I can do a first impression on that. That's going to be based on filament, so I will use filament that I'm comfortable with. I should get somebody to sponsor a spool of filament for that. How big a print? I guess that would be the question. I really do like to go big or go home. So full-size maker coin is about 3 hours. If I don't cut corners and reduce the layer resolution. I'm running at 0.15 right now on the CR10S because I really like the layer definition. It's fast-ish. It's not as fast as it could be, but I've learned that sometimes patience is a virtue and higher quality prints take longer, so it takes longer. I'm patient. Plus I have a camera to sit there and monitor my printer. So honestly, it doesn't bother me. I just have to plan accordingly. And I think typically the CR10S is off by about an hour on this because I think, no, it's more than an hour. What is it? It's going to be almost, yeah, it's about an hour actually. Simplify 3D said that this would be a 5 hour and change build. And I think it took 7 hours to do this. And that's the 20 mini maker coins. So Hume, what is that? Hume filament sponsor? I'm trying to get John from Folger Tech to actually sponsor me with the vintage streetlight build. And that's going to be US monofilament, but that's not what we're talking about. This one, I got to find if anybody wants to buy me a spool of filament and send it to me. As long as it's PLA, I don't care what it is. I'll run it. I don't care. But I mean, you guys, anybody that wants to, or anybody that watches this video, if you really want to, you can. Auto wrong. Oh, are you using your cell phone again? I'm betting you are. To be fair, so what we talking about today? Kelly, welcome. See, this is, I guess I do need to do hour-long streams minimum because you guys miss stuff. Okay, so real quick recap. An STL that will take about 19 minutes to print 4. I'm up for it, whichever. My initial goal is I want to find whatever model it is that's on the printer, and I want to print it first, direct from the memory card, and then I want to use the Fusion 360 profile, the Simplify 3D profile, and export the exact same model at my current with the resolution settings that I use normally, and I want to compare the two and see how they look. So same filament, same model, source from printer, and then source from Simplify 3D. No, you can send me a quarter spool. I love spools. I mean, I've got some older filament. I've got enough filament to do it. I'm not worried about it. I just ordered 2 more spools because I got another job I got to do, which is the other reason why I'm getting this other printer. So I have 2 printers that I know work. Jenny's temperamental. Ask you how you know. You've already done it. I'm using, well, first off, if you want to catch up real fast, look up the Anycubic Chiron. That's the printer I just purchased today, so we can start doing some content videos. Program does extra post-processing that the board cannot do. That is a very good point. Well, I don't know what they use to slice the initial model that they put on the micro SD card, because pretty much all the printer companies that supply a micro SD card also include the test models. That test model is what I'm interested in, because I want to see, I really want to compare sliced this way, sliced this way. I'm trying to decide. There's a couple things I need to do. Number one, I need to get a profile for Simplify 3D for the Anycubic Chiron. I can probably do one manually, so it's not a big deal. It's basically a CR10S profile with 400 by 450. So same dual stepper. The only difference is the optical sensors that it's got. 24-volt heated bed, but that's all controlled firmware, so that's not a big deal. Make changes on the fly while printing from, yes, it does. There is, if you, well, I've been following the, like, what videos there are on it, because there aren't really any creator videos. There's Anycubic videos, and there's one other video for the Anycubic Chiron from a Chinese fellow that put one together. It was actually a pretty cute video. I liked it. But I noticed that nobody else really has done much in the way of videos, content, or anything like that. And right now the price is at $540 on AliExpress. And like I was saying earlier, I fully anticipate the price retail to be in the $800 to $900 range when it gets to the United States. So I took advantage of the price and I got it because it was a pre-release sale. Okay, let me catch up. So Kelly, yes. It makes changes on the fly while printing. I think it is because it is offloading things to the computer and not to the processor, which is possible. On the board, like when printing from SD. Yeah, I like I said, I pretty much exclusively print from SD cards unless I get the Octoprint. I don't know that I don't know. I have another SD card coming, so I'm going to use this for something. Probably Octoprint, because I do have the ability to do that. Actually, I can do it right this second, to be honest, while we're on the stream, but we're almost at an hour, so I don't think that today is probably the best day for it. I started the stream for the purpose of gluing these fingers together, so, and I almost accidentally glued this one together, which I didn't want to do, so I didn't. So the fingers for the InMoov project, and this is vlog 2, is for that. But yeah, I mean, there's a host of benefits to doing stuff through Simplify 3D. I mean, it's just like there's a host of reasons to use the SD card on the printer instead of direct printing with USB. But there's also an equal number of reasons to do it the other way around. So this is why 32-bit boards are much better than 16-bit boards. My Duet will do better than any Arduino board I've used because of better coding and handling of G-code, as well as much higher clocked processor and more memory for operations. Yes, that's true. I'm not going to argue with you on that because that's absolutely true. I fully anticipate that a majority of the 3D printers coming out of the market in the near future are going to have to be 32-bit or greater boards because of all the mixing that's going to be occurring. You can't tell me that these this filament mixing programs that are going on right now are not going to evolve into a built-in feature in a printer. You just can't tell me that. I mean, come on, be realistic. People are not going to sit around idle and have like 3 different freaking machines on their desk serving a single purpose when they can have one machine that mixes the color, prints the color, and does what you ask it to do. So my opinion is you are absolutely right. Because I mean, can you honestly coordinate that many operations on a 3D printer without suffering? I mean, because that is a whole lot of operations, and some of it might be on the fly, some of it might be operational right then in the G code. But I mean, come on, the Wi-Fi stuff is becoming, I don't know if I'd say it's more popular, but I know that a lot of people are switching to the Wi-Fi options. I'm not sure how I feel about that just yet. I don't honestly think that Wi-Fi is stable enough yet. I mean, but then again, I have crappy stuff, so there's too many weird influencers of Wi-Fi and signal degradation, and it's like that would concern me. To me, Wi-Fi is very similar to doing the repeated use of an SD card. Eventually, you're just gonna, you're gonna tear it up. I mean, I have some SD cards that are a year or so old, some that are a little bit older than that. But look at Core XY on a 16-bit board. On most, you cannot run ABL with EasyAble or others like it because of all the mathematical calculations. Makes sense. At least not reliably. Yes. Well, I mean, look at the glitches that occur on some of the printers now. They're just random glitches, things that just boop, hitching and pausing and stuff like that, which I guess some of it's being caused by the potential of the USB stuff. But I mean, again, as these printers become more powerful, we're going to break away from the traditional like rep wrap style printers eventually. And you're going to probably see, oh God, I could think of a whole bunch of things. Never would I ever recommend doing pneumatics unless on the, well, maybe on the Z for 3D printing. Magnetic, like frictionless bearings or magnetic guides. I mean, I could see that happening at some point because that would speed up the process and reduce the friction and wear. Reliable drive systems. I mean, belts. I mean, really? I mean, belts are not the most reliable. They're even no matter how tight you get them, you're always going to have a certain amount of that vibration that's going to transfer. Oh, okay. Thanks, Rover. Yeah, I'll take a look at it when I get a minute. But I mean, think about the way, where do you think, I mean, honestly, where do you think printers should go? I mean, you like powder form, blown in like media, sintering it with a laser. I mean, it's just, how do you align molecules, to do something like in Star Trek, the synthesizers? I had thought about that, Kelly, but I don't know. I'm good with that on the Z. I'm good with that on like the single moving, but I don't know. I did think about doing the same thing on this new printer that I'm building. I'm still not there. Still not there, buddy. Yes, I do. I do too. I think that, well, I guess it depends on who you are. Okay. If you are a hobbyist printer that are trying to print parts with minimal post-processing and you don't really have the concerns of time. Now, a lot of people are concerned with speed of prints because they don't want to leave a print running while they're not present. So they don't like to do multi-day builds if they can get it down to a single day because of speed. Speed is great. You've got to have a rigid system, and the bigger you go, the less rigid it's going to be. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. So, I mean, you've got to have something to counteract that force as you're flying across the build plate. So, I mean, I'm fine with medium to slow speeds. I don't need to jack it up over on, like, I rarely go over 70 millimeters per second right now, except for travel speed. But I'm all about finish. I'm all about quality, and I don't charge by the hour. Yep. Oh, I agree with you, Kelly. I don't know though. I'm not quite there yet on the sintering, because those, I call them cake systems. Those cake systems are still stinking expensive. I think what we're going to see first is larger printers with pelleted extruders, because buying filament on the spool, I think, is going to become cost prohibitive, because I think you're going to be looking at, printers that are printing in excess of 1,000 millimeters. And I think you're going to need something to feed it with. I don't think, maybe go with like a 6 millimeter filament or something, but I think pellets are going to be the substitute for the hobbyist printer. It's cheaper. How many printers do I have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Yes, I have 6 right now, and the 7th one I purchased today. I agree. But again, it also depends on the material they're using. But yes. But they also look kind of weird. If you've ever looked at the finish on those things, it just, something about it just looks strange. That's okay, Kelly. Like I said, I just bought that one today, so you just didn't include that one. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, you were off by 2. Sorry. You were off by 1, except for the one I just bought today that I don't have yet. So good memory. I think maybe I'll give you credit because one of them is completely torn apart. One of them doesn't work. The other one's not calibrated. The other one's a work in progress. The other one's also a work in progress. And the one is working. I mean, I could make Jenny work if I needed to, but I haven't had enough work to worry about it. So I've only been focused on the CR10S right now. Ah, but you say that. But you're not thinking about it the way I think about it. Color matching is actually easy when you break it down to the nuts and bolts of things. Because if you start with virgin PLA and you have a supplier of master batch, okay, that already does the color formulations for you, all you need to know is how much of the master batch to how much of the PLA do you need. And if you do it, that color is going to come out almost exactly the same every single time. Yes, I agree with you. I mean, you really do. If you don't have a lot of printers and you're trying to, but again, it's a double-edged sword. Okay, speed is going to a point. Okay, is going to be fine. But when you break that barrier of fine, you're going to start doing more maintenance on your machine. You're putting more wear and tear on your extruder. You're putting more wear and tear on the stepper motors. All the moving parts that are going. I mean, the wires, anything that there might be just an imperfection in one of the solder joints or the connections. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, yes, I agree with you, but at what risk? It's kind of a meh. I mean, that's why I'm terrified right now, because I'm running one printer, one out of the ones I've got here. I've got 2 spares that I could probably get running in short order if I needed to. But I've only got 1 that's actually active right now. Like I said, Jenny's build plate, I could work with it if I had to. I don't like to, so that's why I don't. But I did get it finished. Hot end's done. It's ready. It will print. The FT5 will not print. Sorry, that one's not ready yet. I need to do either split mode on the TMC 2100 or just buy another batch of stepper drivers from John over at Folger Tech. And then I can have that one running because I've done all the maintenance that I need to do on that printer. So in theory, it should work. InStone, I don't have the time to look at it and troubleshoot it, and I don't really care. Tessa, she is the donated brain and parts for the new printer. And the Delta, the Ren, I'm still looking at whether or not to just give it away. But I haven't committed to it because I'm kind of I don't want to give somebody a printer that I don't know works. I do know that it extrudes, and I do know that I've had it touch the build plate and start printing. But I don't feel comfortable with the idea of giving away a printer that I don't know. I mean, if somebody had the right person, maybe doing a giveaway, if everybody knows all the terms, we'll work with that. Hello, BB3D. How are you today? We're just talking about the Anycubic Chiron that I just bought today, and I'm hopefully going to take delivery within 2 weeks. Yes, Fernando Peña. I love it when Walter does that, by the way, just saying. And I love that I can say it and get your name right and not try to make up a name for you. I got to move my mouse because I got to do this. So Ron, I think Ron's gone. I think Ron went to bed. I think it was getting late. Hello, good sir. Yeah, see, now I got all my friends hanging out with me, and it's like I just got to the end of my material. Okay, what else are we talking about here? All right, so BV 3D. Do you have a name you prefer to be called by? Because I've got Ron, CMP, I've got Rover, and Kelly. I'm surprised I haven't seen Matt lately. Matt must be blocking me. He must have blacklisted me. I'll tell him I had to hire Kelly as a mod because he hasn't been here lately. Brian. Okay, I will try to remember that. BV3D, Brian, as in BV3D, Brian. I know I've heard your name, but it's just, I'm horrible with names. I'm lucky if I can remember seeing Chuck's name, who just walked by my office. Right. Yeah, Fernando, how long did it take me to remember your name and not call you Philippe or something strange like that? So, yes, Brian, and I'm not saying that as a negative thing. I'm trying to get it in my head as Brian, BV3D, Brian. I was actually panhandling everybody for money. I was trying to shake out wallets and see how much money I could get from everybody. Trying to get people to buy me filament, stuff like that. New printers, the normal stuff. Let's see. So yes, the Anycubic Chiron has been the primary subject today, even though today was supposed to be vlog 2 of my InMoov starter finger, which I did. I glued it in like the first 2 minutes of the stream. And then the rest has been me talking for like an hour because I can't just log off the stream when I start getting into conversation with people. Lint in your wallet. Yes, mine too. Now, after today, buying a $540 printer. I have a very supportive wife, by the way. She's fantastic. It was ironic because when I went to IRF this year, they don't have a ticket booth in Massachusetts on the turnpike I was on. So they snap a picture of your license plate and they send you a bill in the mail. Well, I got a bill for $3. Well, actually, it was like $1.90. I don't know, something like that. And it was a 60-cent, handling charge. Have a good night, Brian. And when I got back, it came in the mail, and she asked me what it was, and I told her what it was. And then today, I told her, I said, listen, I bought the printer. And she looks at me, she goes, did you pay the ticket? Or the toll? And I said, yeah. She goes, okay, then, as long as you paid the toll first, I'm good with the printer. How do you like that? Oh, are you taking off too? All right, Fernando, you have a good night. 1,000mm ball screws, 2005, 20mm diameter, 5mm pitch for the CNC in the ground. Nice. You're actually going to be able to have time to play with it this time? Well, before I go any longer, I got 5 more minutes. 5 minutes. That way I can get off here. But first, let me tell you, thank you, all of you, for being a part of my channel. Thank you for sharing and ringing the bell and thumbing it up and, you know, letting people know that I'm here. Even though I do boring stuff most of the time, I think that sometimes I have interesting stuff. So at least that's my opinion. And I will, like I said, we'll get the new printer and we'll get to have all kinds of fun with that one. I'm going to keep plucking away at the InMoov project. I should be doing the Arduino side of it by this weekend because I got to get some filament for the tendons. I've been doing orders, but you've been a lead screw. Yeah, because the X-axis decided it wanted to ram into one of this. That's better than what I did. I slammed to a tool cart once with the gantry on the CNC machine because I had it too close, and then I racked it. And when you have one of those those big, CNC machines, when you have to fix it, that's not so fun. It takes time. Everything takes time. Getting enough money to buy new printers, it takes time. So yeah, anybody else that still remains, do you agree with me doing 1,000 hours on a printer before doing a review? I'm entitled to do the review whenever I feel like it because I bought them all, but I don't feel that doing a review before 1,000 hours is productive. So let me know what your thoughts are. And for anybody that's watching after this video, leave comments in the description or in the comment section so I can actually, see these. And don't forget, email me. You guys can email me. You can send me letters. You can send me film. You can send me goodies too. I don't recommend sending me Haribo though, because I think Joe, 3D Maker Noob, probably got all of that. But yeah, anything you want to show off your prints, send them. If you think that there's something you can print that I could benefit from, send it to me. I don't care. You can look in my my channel description, and I've got my address there. Just like my email address and my options for helping out the channel. Well, that's a worthy thing to be making, actually. Do your first impressions, then watch for my 1,000-hour final review. Fair enough. So on the list is the unboxing, the initial impressions, the first print on the live stream. First print impressions after S3D print. Same. We'll use the same model. And you sent me, I'll put in here, Rover sent me an STL. And so I will be looking for that. And mention first impressions after 1,000 hours. Well, actually not mention first impressions at the that one. Okay, anyway. If the unboxing and building is done in the afternoons, I will definitely be there to watch and see what happens. Okay. Fair enough. It'll most likely be in the evening because I work. If you guys want me to hold off and do it on a Saturday, I may be able to, depending on what's going on with my family. I try to do these during the weeknights because it's better. But don't bust a driver on the first run like the FT5. Yeah, but doesn't that make for interesting video? I mean, if I didn't do it, how would you know? Just saying. I think that's kind of part of what makes my channel endearing, is because I do stupid things and make stupid mistakes because I'm in a hurry and I don't like to follow directions. You can also do 200 to 500 hour pre-review as well. Well, technically I could do the CR10S now because I think I just broke the 200 hour mark on that one. Accented. I don't know if that's is that a compliment? Yeah, he will definitely be involved with that one because there's no way I could get that box here without him being with me. So I can try and do it. Maybe I don't know, it depends on when it comes in. I've got the tripods coming in hopefully this weekend. So I should be able to do the bring the computer in and do this video as requested. So I will have that going. See, I told you I listen. If you guys give me suggestions, I will do it. Usually it's juggling. But yeah, I'm going to bring in that computer. And just so you know, that computer is like, let me get a tape measure for reference here because my arm span probably doesn't tell you anything. And I just dropped my tape measure. Okay, so the computer I have is about a little under 40 inches long and about 25 inches tall and about probably 14 inches wide. So, yeah. Actually, I could do a 3D printed, what do they call those tripods? But honestly, I got a couple of cheap ones, the little minis that are about yay big. And I got one regular size, 60 inch, I think it is, to go with the other, to go with this one. That way I have this one and I can do like another one. Yeah, it's kind of a workstation sort of unit. It's got a workstation board on it, so it's not exactly great for gaming, which is what I use it for. But you know, I've got the the GTX 9. I can't remember. Is it 980 in it? 16 gig of RAM? I don't know, something like that. So it's got giant fans and it's got like a 2,000 watt power supply in it and blah blah blah. I wouldn't call it solid steel, but yes, it's the sheet metal. 3D print an Octo tripod. Yes, I do plan on doing that because I want to do the Octo Vision or whatever that's called, with the vintage street light build that I'm going to be doing with US Monofilament's filament, because that's going to just be awesome. I do have a thought. I'm gonna have to ask Walter about this one. Now that I'm going to have the option to do prints up to 450 millimeters tall, which I probably would never do. I probably wouldn't go past 420. Oh, bad number. 425. Let's stop there. 425 millimeters. I'm thinking that I'm wondering if I should do 3D printed extrusions just to get the layout of the new printer done before I order the aluminum. I'm wondering if there's a benefit to doing it that way. Yes, by the way, my computer is quite heavy. Obnoxiously heavy. That's why you guys know that it is a giant. You guys mean a lot to me because I'm willing to do that. Well, what I was talking about, though, is getting those extrusions printed or just going. I mean, because I can draft print the extrusions and do a mock-up of what the house printer is going to look like. But my concern is that it may end up costing, it may end up costing me more to do the extrusions that way than just buying the aluminum. I don't know. Just a oh my God, I can't believe you just said scuzzy. I could see that. Some of the scuzzy drives were giant. I mean, holy crap, dude. I mean, I remember, what was it, the 2 gig scuzzy drive when they first came out. Those things were massive. I mean, those things were huge. I'm not old. Much-ish. Considering I didn't have a computer when I was young. They came out later. And I know what a Tandy is. Or an Apple II Charlie. So we are seriously running over. What else? Since we're having such wonderful conversations. Ultra floppies, yes. I remember those. We had something called the Space Shuttle when I was in the Navy. And I'm going to leave it at that. But let's just say that it had a handle on it so you could move it. Nice. So what are your thoughts? Should I 3D print extrusions and parts in PLA for the house printer first? Or should I just get the extrusions? Because I'm tight on funds right now because I just blew $540 on that printer. So I'm not going to be able to do anything significant on the house printer for probably at least a month or more at the moment, just because of that. So Tessa's going to have to wait a little longer. And I'm not taking apart my FT5 to do it because, well, the extrusions aren't big enough anyway. For mock-up. So I guess twin shell, 20% or less infill. Actually, I might be able to do hollow if I'm just doing a mock-up. It'd be 2 shell, because I wouldn't want to do vase mode. That wouldn't be stable. I don't think that would be strong enough to simulate the extrusions. But I could probably do that. Buy them as it will cost you more in filament to print them. You have 10 meters of 2020 pretty cheaply, roughly $30 for 10 meters or so, I believe. So that's 30 feet. Yeah, I sorry if I read it verbatim. I knew what you meant. Well, it's going to be mostly 2040. And possibly some 40, is it 40-40 or 40-80? I think, no, something like that. There's a couple pieces that are huge, big thick honking pieces for the bed. They have to be very, very rigid. So, and I was talking to John from Folger Tech because he does sell some extrusions. 80-20, yes. That's what I was thinking. Oh, actually, no. I don't think 80, maybe 80-20. I don't know if that's big enough. Possibly. I don't have a technical drawing of the thing. It's all in my head right now because most of it I'm going to have to figure out. It's got an exchangeable tool head. 3D printing only, but it's got an exchangeable tool head, workstation built in with a separate heater cartridge system for doing nozzle cleanouts without having to do it hot on your machine. So it's actually a setup for that. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Yes. But yes, John Folger over at Folger Tech They do sell the extrusions there. I sent him an email, but I didn't realize he was busy this week, so I'll have to send him another one next week and find out more about what he has available in lengths. At this point, I'm just kind of guessing, but the top extrusions I want to be fairly thick. The corner extrusions are going to be fairly standard, I think. But yeah, anyway, it's a monster machine, so it's like I haven't decided. I was originally going to just go with something like the Vicious one. It's the 3D printable printer, whatever, CNC combo thing. It's similar to, I kind of got some of the idea from that. And it's that was done with electrician's conduit. But then I got to looking at the CR10S, and I really like what they did with that. So I decided I'd probably go with the extrusions. So just saying. Okay. I think we're done. If you guys got anything else, just like I said, message me on Twitter, send me an email, or, communicate with me on Facebook, however you want. It has been an absolute pleasure talking with you guys tonight. Thank you, Rover. Thank you, Kelly. And thank you, everybody else that was on my stream tonight. And thanks for, like I said, liking, sharing, subscribing, ringing bells, and telling people about it so we can grow the channel a little bit more. Help support the channel, stuff like that. So anyway, I thank you guys for being present and turning this from a 30-minute live stream into an hour and a half live stream. That's always happy. I love when that happens. So anyway, until next time, I will see you guys then with another vlog, probably another day or so. So, keep innovating and creating and, be good to each other. So, yes, take care. I'm going to go back to reading. I don't blame you. You should do that. Read your book until you fall asleep. It's a great idea. Oh, and thank you for ringing the bell. I appreciate that, Rover. Yeah, I'll see you guys in somebody else's stream or in another one of my streams in another time or in Twitter and wherever in the verse. So until then, I appreciate you guys hanging out, and we'll talk to you again soon. So have a great night.